All right, so we've got a couple of vintage Corvair kits, and we were gifted these by our good friend Joel, and yeah, it was kind of awesome. I did earn these. I went through and pieced together all of the busted up kits that he had, so we could make more model kits for him to have. So we did earn these. It took us like 3 days, on and off to get all that kind of sorted out and stuff, but. We did get these kits from Joel, and I'm eternally grateful because they are very amazing. Just the box art alone, I mean, if they were empty boxes, I would still be excited about them. But there are kits in these. This one I'm the most excited about because I've never seen this one before in all of my time collecting models and being a Corvair fan and stuff like that. So this one I'm super excited about. But let's take a quick look at the box art first. So first of all, it says 7 to 11 age group. Well, that's me because I'm perpetually 7 years old. It says no glue required for assembly. Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Convertible car kit from the Corvairs. It's the AMT. And then I love this on the side here. Look at this. Now, a big 1/25th scale car kit, approximately 8 inches long, with simple, easy assembly. And it gives you some thumbnails here. Instant detail. Installed detailed interior. I can't read through the camera. Install wheels, axles to chassis. Install chrome grille bumpers. If you know anything about Corvairs, you know they don't really have a grille. Let's see. Attach chassis and body. Apply decals to custom parts. Ooh, custom parts. End cap. Pretty much the same stuff here with it's got a price bubble on there that's been blotted out. Around the side here. This is my favorite part here around the back side. It says, creative fun provides dexterity, pride, confidence, and accomplishment. If anybody ever asks you, why do you build models? You can just quote this because it provides dexterity, pride, confidence, and accomplishment. Those are the keys to model building, right? So here's Johnny building his Corvair, and he can do that on a rainy day. He could receive this as a gift. It's great for auto trips. I can't wait to go on our next car trip. I'm taking this with me. I'm going to play with it while we're driving. And then parties. Oh, yeah, this is a great gift for parties. But here's the best one. This is great for convalescence. So poor Johnny broke his leg. He's building a Corvair model kit. Isn't that great? So here we go. Corporation Box 400. Yeah, this is it's AMT Corporation Box 400, Troy, Michigan. I'm sure that box isn't around anymore. Bottom of the kit, not much on there. It does say it's made and lithoed in USA. Lots of ugly tape on there. Let's take a look inside. This box flap has already been cut open, so it is molded in red. And then we'll turn it upside down so we can use the flap as a ramp. And I haven't opened this before. This is my first time opening this up, so I don't know what we're looking at. Let's get everything out that we can get out. Chrome pieces, and I have no idea what condition this is going to be in. Just going to shake out the loose bits. Oh, that's fancy. Very cool, very psychedelic. I did look up on ScaleMates, and this kit is from 1963, which was my first Corvair. Was from oh, it's got instructions too. My first Corvair was a 1963 Monza. We empty? We are empty. Nobody home but us spiders. So let's look at the instructions. Junior series. Ooh, okay. Corvair convertible interior. Put this and this and this in. Perfect. Can do that. There's a mascot. It's it looks like a Wally Gator or something like that. Or maybe it's the Geico Gecko. Oh, we got a gecko. Let's see here. So we pop in the transparent piece and slap in the interior. Push on the washers to lock everybody into place. Backside. Mash in the wheels and tires, and then we can add on the chrome bits, and it looks like there's supposed to be some sort of screw-like materials. Oh, and matching antennas. These antennas were actually, if I remember correctly, a dealership edition if you wanted those. And then we have the rear bumper with the 1963 and the taillights. And then what's kind of crazy is the only way to tell these apart from each other, 60 through 63, was the little bar in the front here and the difference in taillights and back. That was it. So let's see here. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got 2 sets of decals, and then very cool. Look at that. Oh, there's a Hearst shifter on there. I don't remember Hearst actually having a shifter for Corvairs, but there we go. Alexander Brothers. Oh wow, those are the guys that did the Diora. And that says Bogomobile, AMT Big Top P5C USA. This is cool. What's that one up there say? National Hot Rod Association. Oh, neat. That is cool. All right, I'll set those aside. I'll figure out some ways we can save those somehow. And then here's our, oh, looks like it used to be a piece of yellow plastic that they metallized. That's the front bumper. You got the little cutout for the license plate. Our transparent piece, how's that looking? Doesn't look like it's been glued before, but it does have some spidering in it, so it's been stressed. But it was interesting. You don't see the spidering that much from this side, but we see it from the other side a lot more. So that might be able to polish up okay. Oh, that actually looks a lot like the seats that I had in mine. It would have had little chrome tabbies in the right in the center of those seats. They bugged the heck out of me. Oh, there is a little, look at this little guy. That was cute. Oh my God, it's a little gator. That is so cute. This is the rear valance or vent for the hot exhaust. Well, not hot exhaust. The hot engine air would blow out the back of that there. And here's the rear bumper with the actual. You know, on these older kits, I don't mind it when they put the gear on there like that. It's cool because it's like it's a piece of history now. You know. And it looks like we've got 3 of the 4 washers for holding things together. Maybe the 4th one's around here someplace. And these are some interesting looking wheels or tires. It's like the pie crust style, but look at this bump out on the back here. That's interesting. It's almost like the brake drum is molded into the vinyl. And are they squishy? They're still squishy. Oh, good deal. And then, oh, this looks like it's got a, doesn't look like it's from this kit because this is a white plastic. And of course, there's nothing in here. It's white plastic, but that's interesting how that's pressed in there. That is the correct wheel cover for this car. I remember cleaning those up, boy. So it looks like we got a couple of extra wheels and tires there. Let's see. Yeah, those are definitely the right wheels. And then the headlights and headlight bezels. And then mirrors. And then looks like these are wing mirrors, perhaps. Oh, a trophy. Look at that. That is cool. And then here's our taillight bits. And let's see, I guess the bumpers would have been attached thusly. Yeah, that looks like it fits in there. And then the front bumper, where the front bumper go, yeah, that looks like it would have fit right up in there like that. Okay, let's take a look at the actual body and stuff. So we got another one of the seats actually in there, so that's cool. Steering wheel's in there, so it's the dashboard. And my 63 didn't have the little bracket down here for the radio. I actually bought that off of a guy from our club and installed that, and then I could put a radio in there. And then I had to figure out how to put in a speaker. But, you know, the times of our youth. Looks like this is a little cracked right here. Nothing a little bit of cement won't fix. And then it looks like we have options for our mirrors and then our I don't know, swing lights, whatever. And yes, there is a filter door up here on the front, just like that. They even got the badging right on there too. So this looks like it would have been probably a promo kit at one time. And we don't see the screws in the kit that the instructions said that might have been part of the kit. But I mean, that's no big deal. But this body is pretty chunky. Doesn't look like it's warped at all. Well, other than this crack right here, it might be a little bit slanty on this side, but I mean, for being from 1963, I mean, gosh, guys, this is looking pretty all right. I tell you what, this is probably looking better than most 1963 Corvairs if you find one in the wild. But yeah, that interior is not bad looking. It looks like we might have had a I wonder if there was a, I didn't see one. Yeah, tonneau cover. Or a boot, I should say. Don't have the boot, but no problem. No big deal. And yeah, so this is quite an awesome little kit. So this is very exciting. I'll be keeping a hold of this in my own personal stash for a very, very long time. So I want to say thank you to my friend for offering this kit to us, because that was beyond belief. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to y'all next time. If I ever do actually get around to building this, I'll probably leave it in red. I might even just polish up the body. I mean, we don't see any of those. Yeah, there it is. The obligatory seam line for where the two halves of the plastic come together in the mold. I don't know, maybe that can polish out, but you know, I always wanted a red one of these with a white interior. I thought that would be so cool. But there we go. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you in the next one, and we'll see ya. Bye.